Hello neighbor, this is Curt with eTrailer, and today we're going to take a look at the Westin Outlaw Drop Step Nerf Bars and see how they fit and how they install on our 2025 GMC Sierra 1500. Now, if after watching this video you decide that these are the Nerf bars for you, you go ahead and get them installed, go ahead and share what you think about them in the comments below. We would love to share your experience with our other neighbors so they can make the best decision for themselves. Now, a set of Nerf bars or running boards is really kind of the best way to kind of help you out into getting up into those vehicles with a higher ground clearance. So maybe you have kids, maybe you have some elderly grandma, grandpa that you're picking up. Getting up into that almost 2-foot ground clearance that we have on the Sierra 1500 can be pretty difficult for somebody like that. So getting a set of Nerf bars like this with a drop step is really going to cut that in half and really help you get in and out of the vehicle. It also provides a pretty stylish look. I mean, for a set of Nerf bars like this with the tubing and everything, it's kind of a minimal look to get a step going this low. If you can imagine a full board being this low, to me, you're just kind of losing too much ground clearance. While you are losing some with this, it just doesn't have that appearance of it looking too low. This is going to be made out of an E-coated steel, which means it's going to be extremely corrosion resistant. And the caps on the tube are also sealed off, so you don't have to worry about any of that corrosion coming from within. These steps are die stamped, so they're going to have these perforations to them, and that's going to do a good job of helping any of that extra gunk or anything that's on your shoes, any liquids kind of fall out and channel to the back and fall off as well. So you shouldn't have any of that caking coming over these steps. It's also raised around the edges, so it's going to create a pretty nice boot scrape for you as well. So as I mentioned before, we're going to have about a 23-inch step up to get into the vehicle from the ground. If you don't have a set of Nerf bars like this, we're going to cut that down to about an 11-inch step to get up to this first part, and then we're going to have a 12-inch step to get up into the next. So that's a significant difference as far as being able to get up and down inside the vehicle. And you will, however, lose a little bit of ground clearance. The ground clearance underneath these bars is going to be just over 9 inches. Now, installation of these is actually really simple. So follow along and we'll show you exactly how we got these on our GMC Sierra. So the first step in our installation is going to be identifying the proper brackets for the driver and the passenger side. What you'll find on each side is a front and a rear bracket that are identical, and you'll find your center bracket that's going to have a slight offset to it. Now, on the passenger side, what we're going to find is that the center bracket's tabs are going to face forward, and the front and rear bracket tabs are going to face the rear of the vehicle. It's going to be the same on the driver's side as well. So once you have the proper brackets for the right side of the vehicle, we're going to have to identify the mounting points. Now, there are 6 different mounting points that could actually house this on each side of the vehicle. We're going to find one up here toward the front, a second and a third, then we'll find a fourth, and then a fifth and a sixth. The mounting points that we're going to want to use, starting from the front of the vehicle, are the first, the third, and the sixth. And we've already installed one bracket back here in the rearmost mounting point. The way that it installs is that there is a bolt that will go up into the frame and then a bolt that will come from inside out into the frame. So we'll get underneath right now and we'll show you how to bolt these in. So we're about to install our center bracket. As you can see, this is the second and third mounting point. We're looking to install it on the third one here. So the first thing we need to do is get these plugs out. Now, these can be pretty tight, so if you're having trouble getting under it, go ahead and take a flathead and get the lip up. And if you have a trim tool like this, you could just go ahead and pop them right out. Okay. So we're going to be bolting them in using this combo. We're going to be using one of the provided M8 bolts, the lock washer, and the flat washer. And we're going to go ahead and grab our center bracket. Just like so, and I'm going to go ahead and bolt up from the bottom first here. And I'm not going to get this all the way down. I want it to be a little snug, but I want it maneuverable a little bit for when we put the bar up. If I tighten these up too much, I might run into an alignment problem when I get the Nerf bars on here. So I want to leave them a little bit loose and give me that maneuverability. Once I've got that in place, I'll go ahead and insert the top bolt. And I'm going to hand thread that down as well. And again, just getting it snug. I want it to have a little bit of movement in it, a little bit of play. All right. Now, this is the same exact bolt pattern that we're going to use on our front and our rear brackets as well. So now we're going to go ahead and get that front bracket installed. So now that we have all three of our brackets on, it's time to go ahead and identify which Nerf bar goes on which side. So again, we're looking at the passenger side. And what you want to take a look at is, if you notice how the brackets go, the front two brackets are a little bit closer together than that third one. You're going to find the tabs on the bottom are going to line up the same way. So you've got two closer together in the front, one further back in the back. That's an easy way to identify whether you have your driver or passenger side Nerf bar. Now, you'll notice there's a bit of a lip here behind the bar. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start a little further back because of the way this tapers right here in front of this bracket. It doesn't really let me just lay it on straight because it tapers out so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move it back a little bit to where I can fit it. We're going to go ahead and rest it on that lip and then slide it forward until the brackets and the tabs meet up. Now I'm going to be able to go underneath and get this bolted up just like this. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead, we're kind of making sure we slide this forward, it's up close to the bracket. What I'm going to have now is our M10 bolts. It's got the attached lock piece to it and the appropriate lock nut to go with it. And we're going to run these from the front toward the rear. So with our holes lined up, we're just going to go ahead and get that inserted. I'm going to go ahead and insert my second one. All right, now I just want to kind of hold this in place while I get these threaded on. I'm using my leg to kind of prop it up a little bit, but I really just want to get these started and get them all in place, and at that point I can kind of lift up on them and tighten them down some. But this is going to be the same process on all three brackets. You want the lock nut facing the rear of the vehicle. And again, I'm just kind of hand threading these into place. I want to leave a little bit of room for adjustment just in case I need it. All right, so now that I've got these on, I'm going to go ahead and repeat this process on the front and rear brackets as well. So now, since remember we left it slightly loose, I wanted to make sure I got the right pitch adjustment and had these laying flat. Now that I do, I'm going to go ahead and tighten all these bolts down with my 15mm socket. Now that I've got all the M10 bolts tightened down with my 15mm socket, I'm going to take my 13mm socket, get back under the car, and I'm going to tighten down all my bracket bolts as well. Now that we've got all of our bolts tightened down and it's pretty much in position, we can go ahead and get them torqued. So grab your torque wrench, pay close attention to your instructions because the M8 bolts that attach the brackets to the vehicle have a different torque spec than the bolts that are attaching the brackets to the Nerf bars. So that's really it for the installation. As you can see with the ground clearance that the Sierra 1500 provides, it is something you could probably pull off in your garage or your driveway. However, if after watching this video, maybe this is a little bit too much for you to tackle or you're not comfortable with it, go ahead and check out our dealer locator on our website. What that's going to do for you is it's going to provide some local installers that are going to help you get these installed. But that was a look at the features, fit, and installation of the Westin Outlaw Nerf Bars on our 2025 GMC Sierra 1500. I'm Curt with eTrailer. Thanks for stopping by.